Wait, let me... I think that's... Okay. The gentle wind sways the canopies of trees as I walk through my neighborhood. Let me see, I gotta... There we go. Can't really see my face. The soft breeze and the pleasantly warm June evening weather put me in a good mood. Okay. My heart fills with blooming joy as I look around the area. I take in the sights. Let's see, that's still 2 files. Taking the sights in the neighborhood where I grew up, the familiar houses, the new and old cars, the stray soccer ball left behind by children. Yeah, that's... Okay. Just one more month until I can finally leave this place behind and move out of my parents' house. All I need is the first paycheck from the job I landed today, and I can start looking for my own apartment closer to the city center. I hum a happy tune, my steps light. Okay. Today I had a job interview for the position of a business analyst at a prestigious corporation. Okay. All of my effort spent learning math and economics at college has finally paid off. I'm half a year after graduation, and I already have the dream job I've always wanted. Half a year filled with even more belittling from my parents than usual, telling me that I'd picked the wrong course of studies, that I would have been better off not going to school at all instead of pursuing economics. They're not really kind, not really helpful at all. Insisting that with my shyness and fear of people, I'd never be able to impress anybody during a job interview. Good parents they are, right? That's awesome parents. Saying that I end up living with them until I grew old, and insisting that I should be grateful for it because I would never survive without them. Take a deep breath, then release it. Glad the years of suffering my father's and mother's pointed words will soon come to an end. Thank God. Maybe, just maybe, they'll be happy that I landed my new job. Perhaps now that I've proven myself capable of starting my career after studying so hard, things will change for the better between us. After all, I impressed the interviewer so much that I landed a position immediately after the interview. They called me with the job when I was on the subway returning home. Which is good. Because it should be. I'm sure my parents will appreciate that I'm finally becoming independent. Renewed hope, I open the door to our home. Delicious smell of well-cooked steak wafts in the air, or waits in the air. Late dinner's cold. What the hell? See this? Mother glares at me from the dining table. Father sits opposite her, looking at his phone. The table is set for dinner and they're already eating. They wait for me to get back home. I mean, at least it looks good. Sit down immediately and eat. You don't want your mother's cooking to go to waste. Right? I'll take a seat and taste the half-cold steak in front of me. How's work been today, dear? Should I even ask? I'm sure you screwed something up once again. Did you insult a client during the presentation? Ruin an important document? Delete a file with crucial data? They are some haters. Well, why would you assume I can't do my job properly? Because you're a useless husband. I can't imagine you doing one thing right, and you made all of those mistakes before. It doesn't mean I'll repeat them. I'm not as absent-minded as you are. My parents are going at it again, arguing. I experienced little love from them all my life. No warmth, no support. They hate each other just as much as they detest me. That's where our family has always been. That's why I want to move out as soon as possible. Maybe if I just... While I'm striving to have a proper career, so I can support myself and get away from them. You're not any better than me. You can't even wash the dishes without breaking the plate. I'm sure you suck at your job as much as you suck at managing the household. You, how dare you? If you hate the way I keep the house so much, then don't eat the food I make, you ungrateful pig. I at least deserve to eat a good meal after all the hard work I do to bring home the money that keeps this family fed. The meager money you bring in from your job barely manages that much, especially when they were leeching off of us and being unemployed. I curl my clammy hands on my knees, fingernails biting into my palms. My lip quivers when I speak up. When my parents focus suddenly on me, not my chance to tell them that I just got my dream job. Their attention fills my heart to the brim with fear. These emotions are nothing new. I've dealt with them all my life, but I can never get used to the feeling of being so small, so inadequate. I'm small, of course. I do amount to almost nothing. Wait, that can't be entirely true since I did land my dream job after all. Yeah. The fact that I'm finally making a future for myself should change the way my parents see me. Can we go back? Just tell them about the new job. Actually, I just returned from a job interview, and they called me right afterward to confirm that I landed the position. So you finally decided to stop leeching off of us and become what? A toilet cleaner? But no, I landed a job related to my field of study. I'm gonna be a business analyst. I wonder how long. How long? What, mother? How long you're gonna keep the job before they fire you? You suck at public speaking. As a business analyst, you'll have to make presentations in front of the whole team, telling people way smarter than you how they can improve their work on the project. You think anybody is going to listen to you? You speak in such a quiet voice that most days I have trouble hearing you. Why, out of all the possible career paths, did you have to choose a role that has so much to do with presenting your ideas to others? Oh my god, can we go back? Nah, it didn't. It didn't. I'm not doing that. We'll stay quiet. They some evil ass people. For real, we're not doing it. Don't have anything to say? Were you going on and on the other day about how you want to become a business analyst? Huh, what a joke. You can't even get a word out in front of us. Your own family. You think you'll manage to present your ideas in front of a whole group of people regularly, advising them on how to make a project a success? When you yourself suck at communication and clearly need to improve your skills so much? Damn, it's fuck if you do, fuck if you don't. You think anybody is going to hear you when you mumble under your breath? Like that? Speak up. I got the position of a business analyst in a good corporation. Ridiculous. I hope your new employer will quickly figure out how unfit for the role you really are. It didn't help. Keep it quiet didn't help. Oh, my mouth again to tell them I'm going to move out soon, but I hesitate. Well, if I really can't do my job properly, and the company lets me go after the first month? No, don't say shit, just move out and succeed. Will I have to return to this house with my tail between my legs? Tremors course through my whole body, fear gnawing at me from inside out. Told you just to get a job as a shop clerk at the local grocery store. I already went there and asked if they would give you the position. And that's the only kind of job someone as useless as you can do. Being a cashier or a cleaner is good for you. Business analyst, my ass. We always said studying economics and finance wasn't right for you. You won't do well on the job. My tears overflow and my vision blurs. I can't take this anymore. Ava, you haven't finished your dinner. My mother yells at me when I get up, but I can't hear anything my parents say anymore. I can't see a thing through my tears. I can't hear a word through the noise in my ears. I run out of the house, the door slammed behind me. I don't look where I'm going, heading straight into the street. At the street. I just want to get away. Get away and get as far away from the pain and toxicity of my parents as I can go. Loud screech of a car coming to a halt sounds from my right. Don't tell me she got hit by a car. The van coming straight at me. I quickly judge the distance back to the pavement or to the other side of the road. I decide to step back. I turn around and run back to the sidewalk. I'm gonna take a few steps before a devastating force hits my body. Oh no. No. As my feet can carry me. I should have never went back. That was stupid of me. I'm not quick enough. Wait. Okay, so I was supposed to get hit. My body hits the pavement a few meters away from the car. I experienced the worst agony I ever felt in my life. No abusive words from my parents compared to the searing pain of my body being destroyed under the weight of the car. I cover blood. I hear screams around me. Someone's grabbing my leg, trying to get me out from under the van. There's loud ringing in my ears, and blackness fills my vision. Slowly the pain fades. And when I come to my senses again, I don't feel any pain anymore. I look down at my body, and it's not crushed, deformed, or in any way destroyed, but it's translucent. Around me is pure whiteness, blindingly bright, but instead of my eyes hurting, the side of the place feels serene and comforting. Hello? My voice echoes loudly in the emptiness around me. Slowly, I realize what's going on. I died. I ran to the road, driven by emotions, and got run over by a delivery van. Small laugh escapes my lips. In the end, I really did amount to nothing. I died such a pathetic death, stemming from my own stupidity. Serves me right. Disappointment and regret filled my heart. I just landed my dream job. I was ready to get out of the abusive environment of my parents' home. I would have finally been able to live my life the way I wanted. To prove my worth to my brother and father and to myself. To a life of my own. Great. Sucks so much. I want to go back. I want to live my life. But going back to the life I lived is no longer a possibility, is it? I had died and gone to heaven? Is that what this place is? Wind blows behind me, a heavy draft interrupting the stillness of the air. I spin on my translucent heel in the direction of the blast and see a red door. In my emptiness, the red door is very pronounced. I feel a pull towards the entrance. The door beckons to me, dares me to come closer. Not like there's anything else to do around here. I move towards the door and my steps entirely silent. I only stop when I'm in front of the entrance to where? My hand hovers over the handle. Should I open the door? Chill runs up my spine and I feel a watch. Someone's behind me, staring at my every move. I turn around quickly, but nobody's there. Only the vast bay of whiteness. Okay. Fear rises in my heart, but even though I call for the person behind the voice, there's no reply. Okay, what's this mission? Am I not dead? What more is there to do? The door behind me yawns open and I face the entrance. The inside of the door is glowing with warm pink light, inviting me forward. Strange. Curiosity pulls me toward the entrance. I want to go through. I want to see what's on the other side. My life can't end like this. I want to see what the mission is so I can go back to my world. I need to live my life more. When it's all clear, I step through the red door. Where is that good-for-nothing daughter? Oh. We're done with dinner. How can the child be so rude as to be late? You've already eaten everything, even the celebratory lobster. It doesn't matter if she's late. If she doesn't want to eat, she can starve for all I care. Who are these people? Pink hair, clothes that would belong at a Renaissance fair. Foreign food. Here you are, Sophia. Sophia, who's that? Why are you staring like a dumb lamb, child? Come to eat now, have you? Sophia? Like, they immediately started insulting me. Like, damn, hold on. Child, who is this man to me? I look down at myself and see long pink hair, and I'm also wearing an outfit that wouldn't be out of place at a Renaissance fair. My skin is slightly darker than my usual color. I take a step forward and stumble. I seem taller now than something binds my middle, constraining that through my breath. Hold on. I pinch myself, but I don't wake up. Pain is real, and the situation is real. Sweet Dally, okay. Good staring looks like you're seeing us for the first time. It's unsettling. If you want to eat something, there are still some leftovers. Woman gestures to the table. Gaze wanders over to the lobster shells, eaten clean. There's nothing else to eat, except for maybe the berries, which the younger woman is currently snacking on. Do they think I'm a dog? I'll lick their plates clean? Listen to your mother, Sophia. What's going on with you today? This year's always been strange. This is nothing new. Sophia Dally. Okay. A strange name rings a bell. On my way from the job interview, I read a webcomic where a person by this name was one of the side characters. Her had long pink hair, much like I do now. She wasn't anybody significant in the story, just a shy girl who followed the main heroine around as part of her entourage. But that was the story. The situation I'm in right now feels very real. Hold on. Okay, I couldn't have. Being reincarnated, right? That's not possible. I did die though, and now I'm very much alive. Only I'm not myself anymore. Sophia? Yes, that's your name, you stupid oaf. What in the world is going on with you? The man speaking must be Sophia's father. He once cited the male lead of the webcomic. He's known for his mean personality. Count Elilio Dalle Carceri? I grab the edge of the chair as the world spins in front of me, overwhelmed by the new situation. I'm not feeling very well. See, she's not fit for the mission you want to send her on. And what do you think I'm supposed to do about it? She's going anyways. She has always been useless. How is she able to do something helpful for this family? Y'all are just cruel. Sophia's mother and father no longer pay attention to me, arguing amongst themselves. The younger woman continues to eat berries, unbothered by the scene. What kind of countess are making? She watches me with loathing gaze that freezes the blood in my veins. What's her deal? Are you excited about finally amounting to something, sister? So she's Sophia's sister, Bianca. Memory supplies. I don't know what everyone's talking about. They'll reveal all to you in due time. They had to pick you, not me. I wanted to prove myself the father, but it had to be you. I have no idea what she's talking about. Count and Countess continue arguing. Their voices getting louder and louder. Why are you taking more and more loans? Are you insane? Soon your situation will improve tremendously, and then we'll be completely out of debt. Was the lobster we ate today bought with the latest sum of money you borrowed from the crown? Of course it was. But worry not, my beautiful wife. Soon our family will get the honor and riches we deserve. His gaze lands on me again. All thanks to Sophia. Now, child, make yourself scarce. Because you dared to miss our special dinner, you will receive only servant food for the next 3 days. Okay, go off. You're also confined to your room. What? Why? Dominic, escort Sophia to her room. Lady Sophia. Mother gestures to the door. Take one last look at Sophia's family before I stumble out of the room. The man grabs my shoulder. I have no delusion that the gesture is to support me. He yanks me along the corridor in a rough fashion, before more or less throwing me into a room. The room was locked. I collapsed on the soft bed. Mary Sophia's life began to flood my mind. Of her relationship with her parents, of her life as gambling count's daughter. Is this situation for real? Sophia's parents are just as abusive as mine. I can't if she misses meal, calling her names, controlling every aspect of her life. Confinement and starvation are clearly their favorite means of enforcing discipline in their daughters. Or rather, in Sophia, says Bianca, Sophia's sister is their golden child, who they barely ever felt the need to discipline. Why did I have to go from one toxic family to another? I don't want to live through abuse. Not again. What choice do I have, though? If I'm a noble daughter now, the only way out of this place is through marriage. Also, my husband won't be an old, disgusting geezer. If I want to return to my world, I need to fulfill my mission. That was what the strange voice said. So what is my purpose here? Sophia's parents mentioned the mission, too. I have no doubt I ended up in the body of Sophia for a reason. The grumbling in my stomach interrupts my racing thoughts. Bye, Sophia. My body now, difficult as it is to think about, is hungry. Maybe it would have been better if I'd eaten the leftovers. I had to wait for the servants to deliver my meal. I wonder if the cat will come to tell me what the conversation at the table was about. Later that evening, the door opens, and the maid puts a tray with soup on the ground before hastily closing the door again. Soup seems like a nice offering. Either the count has changed his orders about my food, or the servants have taken pity on me. At least that's what I think at first. I pick up the tray and set it on the desk. Sit down to eat. When I look into the bowl, however, shows me that this soup is just the most watered down broth I've ever seen. Even so, I put a spoonful in my mouth and eat. Too hungry to worry about the quality of the food. Even this tasteless soup is better than nothing. The next day goes by as I struggle to keep myself busy in my confinement. I explore the environment of Sophia's room, trying to get to know her through the items that she holds closer to heart. I quickly discovered that, other than the brooch she keeps attached to her dress, she has little in terms of jewelry. Her father has likely gambled all the family jewels away. Tall bookshelf stretches all the way from floor to ceiling, suggesting Sophia liked reading. Books are all on empire history with little in terms of entertainment, so I put them aside. On the nightstand are a pen and paper, but the desk drawers have little in terms of finished letters or documents. I also tried my best to find a diary, but to no avail. I do, however, find a small, closed chest. Warm spreads in my heart as Sophia's memory of the person who gave her the item comes to mind. Sharia? The Saintess? Sophia was part of her entourage during her stays in the capital. Judging from Sophia's reaction, she holds the Saintess in high regard. I fished under the mattress, finding a small key, and opened the chest. Besides an array of letters with expressive, chaotic handwriting. Shara's handwriting is much like her personality, always in a rush to do one thing or another with little regard for inner peace. Opposite of what you would think a saintess would be like. Looking through the letters, I witnessed the evidence of a friendship between Sophia and Sharia. At the same time, I'm doing my best to remember the original story of the webcomic. Comic centers around Saintess Sharia, and she heals the poor and rich alike with her holy magic powers. She is also a skilled alchemist who invents many potions which help improve her health in the Empire. Sharia falls in love with Luca, the crown prince, but she also has other love interests in the story. Her knight Antonio follows her around like a puppy. And the Duke of the North, Zachary, is an ultimate webcomic like many others I've read. Nothing particularly original, but I enjoyed the familiar premise. Fia Dale, I'll get the name right eventually, is a friend of Sharia, but she plays no significant role in the story beyond being a background character. She is shy and doesn't speak much. But it seems Sharia holds Sophia dear, regardless of her shortcomings. Well, how I wish I would have such a friend. Never grown close to anybody on Earth. Become even more curious about what mission Sophia I supposed to fulfill. Sophia is nobody significant. What can she change in the story? Get my answers from the Count that evening. He walks into Sophia's room like he owns the place. His daughters too, for that matter. Here in the south of the Empire is based on Renaissance Italy. The dynamic between the noble father and his daughter isn't that surprising. I get up from my seat at the desk to curtsy to the Count, much like Sophia's memory tells me to do. Curtsy comes out clumsy, but in Sophia's father frown deepens. Did you enjoy your meal? No matter, listen closely, child. You know our family's in debt. Called by Count Itchio's sick addiction to gambling. Our family needs to get closer to the Emperor. I need to win His Majesty's favor. And a way to make all of our financial troubles go away. Maybe I'll even be elevated to the position of Duke. Is your father delusional? Raise my eyebrows. One will need to do something hugely significant for such a change to happen. You will help me achieve true happiness for this family. How so? You're a noble daughter of eligible age. You're in your prime to marry. Together with the Emperor, we've made a good match for you. You will marry Zachary Colville, Duke of the North. Blink once, then twice. Him the cold Duke of the North, archetype of all dukes from webcomics, comes to mind. Dark hair, eyes like ice, a tall athletic body honed by years of fighting with a sword. You have landed the worst match in terms of looks, however. I'm sure you're aware of what a great match this is for you. You'll become Duchess of the North. The duchy controls much of the northern lands of the Empire. Although poor due to the ability to produce food and the need to rely on imports of grain and vegetables from the central parts of the Empire. The North has a strong military to ward off the monsters' attacks from the lands even farther north. I wonder how the duchy wants to deal with their food problem. Right now they're importing food from the Empire. They rebel against the crown. Will they import food from allies who resent the Empire instead? Do they have such allies? And that's the problem your marriage will solve. The Emperor told me Duke Zachary is using his strong military to prepare a rebellion with the purpose of making the duchy independent. Memories from the webcomic come to mind. Duke Zachary does indeed launch a rebellion in the book, prematurely as results later show their rebellion fails. In fact, many lives were lost in the fighting, and the duchy ends up even poorer as a result after the Empire imposes large taxes on every aspect of their daily needs as punishment. But what does any of this have to do with me? That's why you've been arranged to marry Duke Zachary and spy on him for us. Spy? Yes, you will find out the Duke's secrets and send every ounce of useful information you find to me. Correspondence with any foreign ally the Duke might have, trade agreements with them, names of dignitaries that are on his side, account books. When we have enough information to prosecute the Duke and have him beheaded, you will become a rich widow. While I have my debts paid by the crown, we'll all live life in peace and happiness. Do you really think I'm skilled enough to spy on the Duke, Father? You're a beautiful woman, Sophia. You grew up well. All you need to do is seduce the Duke. You wrap him around your little finger in no time. That's... I'm not sure this is a sensible plan at all. You want to use your daughter as a pawn to seduce another man because you fail as a financial head figure? Okay. I'm not sure this is a sensible plan. You're not a great candidate to seduce the Duke. Why doesn't Bianca go? She's much more outspoken and charismatic than myself. She has a circle of guys that adore her. As you know, Bianca is engaged and will be married in half a year. Breaking her engagement will raise suspicion. Zachary Colville will suspect the person we send of being a spy. So Bianca is obviously more skilled at seduction than you are. We need to send someone who seems too naive to be a spy. That's a crazy thing to say about your own child. I guess that makes sense, even though I'd still rather it was Bianca who was sent. However, I do want to get out of this abusive household. Duke Zachary may not trust me from the get-go, but in the webcomic, he's good to Sharia, the protagonist. Perhaps we'll even grow to like each other, but I would end up being the cause of Zachary's demise. It's not like I have a choice in the matter, though. I'll do my best, Father. Of course you will, my dear Sophia. My life has always lacked choices. When I didn't finally make a choice and pursue my dream job, all I got was an abrupt and painful death. I can't give up. For the time being, I have to comply with Father's plan. Once I'm in Duke Zachary's castle, I'll figure out what I want and what I can do. Here. Father takes out a small pocket mirror and hands it to me. It's a communication device. The mirror has been enchanted so we can use it to converse with each other over long distances. This is how you will give me the information I seek without anybody finding out that you're spying for the Empire. Look at the unassuming artifact. Nothing special about the mirror. If it's important that the account says, that's a good thing. If I know this item is an artifact, they won't take the mirror away from me. To activate it, they speak my name. I have a matching artifact. Understood. You're much calmer than the situation than I thought you would be. Good. Daughter Io Dale Carceri has to carry out her duty with dignity. Far from calm, I'm just stunned by all the news revelations in my life. I also know how to pick my battles. I cannot disobey a Renaissance count who was apparently my father. However, I have to keep in mind that this mission must be the one the boy spoke about, so I want to return to my world. I have to fulfill my quest. My life keeps getting harder and harder by the minute. 2 weeks later, I'm traveling in a carriage to the north to marry my new husband. Damn. finally reached the northern lands, much of which is covered by the forest. We see villagers too as we pass by, but they are far and few in between. I look out the window curiously, taking in the sights of the different architecture, people clad in leathers and furs on the street. My heart breaks as I start to understand what the north is like. The buildings are in dire need of repairs. The roofs are caving in, plaster coming off the walls. Cobblestones on the streets are broken, which makes the carriage jostle often. It's like none of the villagers care about keeping their home in good condition. And something isn't quite right. The issue is that people's most pressing needs aren't being met, so they don't have energy to maintain anything else around them. When my eyes see the citizens of the duchy in such dire states, my heart breaks. They look so thin, disappearing under the thick fur coats they wear. The clothes are in the same need of repair as their homes. They don't smile at all, clearly going about their daily routines without much heart. Hunger, despair, these are the emotions that can make a person so hollow. The North is barely hanging on. North has always been oppressed by the South. During the story of the webcomic, Zachary decides he's done enough preparation for the rebellion and finally launches his attack. Like many of the webcomics readers, are rooted for Zachary to become the main male love interest for Sharia and for the rebellion to succeed, but I've read many webcomics that started out well and ended not quite as the reader wanted. The story seemed to be going in just a disappointing direction at the last part I read. I haven't finished the webcomic yet. I only look up spoilers to see whom Sharia would end up choosing. However, now this somewhat badly constructed fantasy world is my reality, and the plight of the people of the North is very much real. People want to split from the Empire, lead their lives without huge taxes. They already have enough problems with the monsters advancing on the homes of the citizens, and Zachary and his army having to stop the attacks. All of these concerns are part of my situation now too. No matter what happens though, rebellion or no rebellion, I know I don't want to go back to the Dale Carcery mansion. I can only look ahead. After 10 long days of travel, the carriage stops in front of a castle. The door opens, and a man, possibly the most handsome man I ever seen in my life, with dark hair curling around his ears and sharp light blue eyes, extends a hand to me. There's a smirk on his face when he looks me up and down. Welcome to the cold north, my lady. His words are a greeting, but at the same time they feel cold. There's nothing else I can do though, and put my hand in his. I plan to be married to Duke Zachary, but at the same time I have hope that my life in this castle won't be so bad. Thank you, Your Grace. Little lady's luggage? Yes, my lord. Servants move around efficiently. Duke Zachary and I stand in front of each other. He looks at me with a cold, closed-off expression. He finally realizing that I'm a real person and that he's really going to get married to me soon. Welcome to the castle of Duke Zachary Colvin, future Duchess. I hope you'll find your new home suitable for someone of your standing. Look at the man who approaches me, Zachary. Thank you. This is my advisor, oldest Havering. He's my right hand and my closest confidant. He's a person I should be wary of, as he's completely on my future husband's side. If I'm supposed to spy on the Duke, I would have to be mindful to avoid older suspicions as well. I'll need to gain some allies in the castle. It would be best to get the Duke and Oldest on my side eventually, somehow. But that's a long-term project. In the meantime, I hope I can find some neutral parties open to supporting me. Pleased to meet you. I'll be in your care, Your Grace, as I adjust to my new life here. Yes, that's right. You'll need some time to get used to your new surroundings. I hope you start feeling at home in the castle quite quickly. Why are you smirking so much while saying words that are meant to be welcoming to me? It's so confusing. You'll be married in the town church in 3 days. Tomorrow preparations for your wedding will start, my lady. Make sure to rest well today. The South doesn't see your marriage as something sacred. They wouldn't care if I just sent them a certificate without a proper ceremony. However, I'm going ahead with the wedding anyway. Thank you, Your Grace. It's actually very thoughtful of Zachary. He's opposed to our marriage, but at least he's honoring me like a true duchess. Let's move inside the castle. I'm sure the lady is tired from her long journey north. I have to admit that I will love some rest. It will show you to your room, then. With the castle proper, I'm in awe of the spacious great hall with much different architecture and decor than Sophia's father mansion in the south. One would think a castle so big and made of sturdier material than a south sandstone will be unwelcoming, with the sculptures and banners that fill out the nooks and crannies make the atmosphere of the hall grand, but not unpleasant. So that's a lot to look at here, and the place has been decorated with care. My lady, you forgot your coat. I'm checking out of my thoughts by the side of a girl with long, curly, dark hair running down the stairs, while the straw maid follows right after her, carrying an expensive fur coat. I don't need the coat. They're already inside, see? I want to see what my brother's new wife is like. It's cold in the hall, too. You'll get sick, my lady. I won't. Zachary lets out an annoyed huff. The girl jumps down the last steps and stops in front of us. Okay. Hello, I'm Zachary's sister, Bridget Colville. Pleased to meet you, Sophia. Dale Carceri, daughter of Count Dale. Yeah. Make sure to introduce myself properly. Wow, you're so beautiful. What a pretty hair color. We don't have people with pink hair in the north. Is that a common hair color in the south? I wouldn't know, but my whole family has pink hair. Amazing. Don't you think she's gorgeous too, brother? This is the moment you're supposed to compliment your fiancé. How can you be so dense? I'm dense? Yes, you may not like that Emperor has commanded you to marry, but why would you take out your frustration on this nice person? Bridget, I've told you not to meddle in politics. It's a topic that's far too complicated for you at your age. I'll be 16 soon, a legal adult. Here that day. You're so rude. He's been very mean to you, has he not, Sophia? I wouldn't say that. It's the truth, but I can't admit it. Bridget may not be a player in the politics of this house, but I very much am. I envy her for being able to speak freely. He was rude to you. Zachary, you mean? Enough of this. The lady is tired from her long journey. We were about to show her to her new quarters. Yeah, sure. I'll find you later, Sophia, so we can talk without this rude brother of mine around. Alright. I should stop myself, but I can't help the bright smile that appears on my face. Bridget may be young, but she seems like a kind soul. I'm glad to have met someone so welcoming in the castle. Violetta, give me the coat now, please. I'm going out for a walk. Yes, my lady. Bridget puts on her coat and walks swiftly out of the hall and into the cold air of the courtyard. Zachary stares after her with a troubled expression, but then he shakes his head and gestures for us to continue up the stairs. We walk down the stairs long hallways. How was your journey, my lady? The awkward silence is interrupted by Otis asking me a question. I wonder if he really cares, but doubt creeps up in my soul. He probably just wants to break the monotony of a quiet long walk. I want to insult. Love the... Look at the duchy. With its beautiful courtside and quaint villages. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary about the villages? Out of the ordinary? What do you mean? It's nothing. I was just thinking if you might have seen the festival in Osborne. Yes, we were passing by a village that had colorful decorations between buildings, but we haven't stopped for me to have a good look at the festival. I see. There will be another festival in the village close by in 2 months. Maybe the Duke can take you with him to see that celebration? Perhaps I will. Really? I would love that. I feel like Zachary's like my interest in the positive aspect of life in the duchy. Though I did not notice how poor the villagers looked, how thin and starved the people on the streets are, but... Well, I did notice that. I can't say anything bad about the duchy. Only just arrived here, can I? Will seemed pleased with my answer. Maybe he was indeed checking on how perceptive I am. This is the room where you'll be staying. You arrive at the door and Otis opens it to reveal a spacious room with my suitcases already inside. Enter and spin around, taking in the sights of my new living quarters. Once again, I'm surprised by the cozy interior. I take off my cape and gloves, laying them down on one of the chairs. We'll leave you the rest today. The maids that I assigned to serve you will come soon. If you need anything, let her know. I nod and we say goodbye to each other. Zachary and Otis leave, closing the door behind themselves, gently. Okay. You see about the good times any to save. So, go to the title. Alright, so this is My Wife is a Spy. This game was sent to me by wait 1 second. Okay, by Transparent Games, not Transparency. I have played their other game, Sanctus of the Golden Bow, which I'm still working on. I'm going to try and focus on that game to get that finished, along with some other games that were sent to me, recommended to me that I haven't finished yet. We'll check the extras. Pause. Yeah, so that's more information right there. There's nothing really in the gallery yet. But let's see, we'll move out the way. But I do like their games, and this game is another nice one that I see myself finishing. Most likely I will do a part 2, so I look forward to that. But I have several recommendations that I have to get through before I can get back to that. I'm going to try and respectfully bounce around and get everything done to the best of my abilities. But these are the staff credits. So, like I said, I'm gonna try to get everything done to the best of my abilities. So, stay tuned for that. And yeah, I recommend this game because it's nice. I don't know how it's gonna play out, whether she's gonna go with her father's plans or go against it, but we will see. So, with that being said, I'm gonna end it here. So yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed. If not, you got this far, so obviously you must have liked something. But yeah, so let's see. Okay, we can't check the music, but yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed, and I will catch y'all next one.